Hi, what we're going to be looking at today is the Garmin eTrex H handheld GPS personal navigator, or sat-nav as we probably like to use it. The eTrex H is a new version of eTrex's entry-level navigator, really for hiking or sort of geocaching mainly, I guess, at this sort of price point of about £65. What they've done to improve their entry-level model is add a high sensitivity GPS receiver, which means that you get better GPS reception in areas like under trees, under foliage, between buildings, down in canyons, that sort of thing. So you're less likely to get a loss of GPS signal, and I can well support this. I found that it even picks up a GPS signal accurate to about 17 feet inside my house on the bottom floor. So that's pretty good. So what are you getting for your £65? And why would you buy something like this? Because obviously the eTrex is a non-mapping sat-nav, so it can't have any maps in. You know, what's the point? Well, obviously they're nice and cheap, the first thing. So if you're just dipping your toes into the world of geocaching, or you want a sat-nav or something like that, then you're not breaking the bank. And if it doesn't work out and you don't really like it, well, what the hey, you know, you can move on. And if you do decide to, you know, get a mapping handheld at a later date, you could always chop it and sell it on eBay, because they go for a good condition ones go for a reasonable amount, and then get one of the mapping units. And also, why would you buy it over something like using your in-car sat-nav, which I've used before for geocaching? Well, the reason why I bought the eTrex H was because it was a good price. It's a high sensitivity one, so I know it's gonna, when I'm geocaching, it'll get me reasonably close, even if it's under trees and things like that. I mean, I wanted a handheld device because I like the idea of having a dedicated unit that is waterproof, so if I drop it in a puddle, it's not going to fry the electrics. It's tough, you know, it's got a nice rubber case around it, lots of rubber on the back here as well, so if I drop it, it's not going to break. You can use it one-handed, which is really nice when you're sort of wandering around. And I just wanted something that I could use for geocaching rather than my more expensive in-car sat-nav. You know, that the kids can use it as well, and I don't have to worry about breaking it. And to be honest, if I really get into it and I enjoy it, then, you know, I will go out and I'll get a mapping unit. Okay, well, let's start off by just talking about the specs. In the eTrex H, you've got a high sensitive GPS receiver. You've got the built-in memory can hold 500 waypoints, so you can stick in 500 geocaches, or you can sort of make up your own map by putting in local points of interest like your house and local landmarks. It can also have it has got a 10,000 point track route, so what that means is when you're using it, it can record 10,000 points when you're going track back from somewhere. And it'll last about 17 hours on a battery. Now, don't worry, if you do change the battery, which is underneath this cover, it does remember all those 500 waypoints. You don't have to put them all in again manually. It is, however, worth pointing out that it is a serial connector, so you do need to buy, if you want to connect to your computer, one of Garmin's special leads, which go for about £20 new. Which is quite expensive if you ask me, so I haven't bought one yet. Okay, let's fire it up and see how long it takes to get a warm lock. So here we go. Got this little man doing his bit. There's also a backlight as well, which I'll put on for you. There we go. As you can see, it's waiting for satellites. So what it's doing now is it's just listening out to the satellites, and it's picking them up. I mean, that's the simple view. If I want to, we can look at the different satellites there as it gets a lock on them. So this is trying to get a lock inside the house next to a window. As you can see, it's a grayscale screen, so it's pretty clear, and as you know, you tap the light on it and it's much better. There we go. Let's get back to the tracking satellite screen. There we go. As it's picking them up, I haven't picked them up yet. Normal sky view. As you see, the way I'm navigating it around with one hand, we have this button on the right hand side. What that does is cycle between the different screens, and then we have a select button on the bottom left, and then we've got up and down buttons here, so you can use that really easily. Here we go, waiting, tracking satellites. It'll pick up the other one in a minute, so we'll just quickly go through some of the options you can do. So if I go into the track screen, you can probably just about make out where we are, which is in the middle. And then if I zoom out, what you can see just about is there's a few geocaches, those little boxes that I've entered, and the really light grey line that you can probably see is my track. So as I've been wandering around over the last couple of days trying that Etrex out, and then that dark line, that's the direction I've got to go in. So that's your track screen, and then this will come up with the compass, the virtual compass, with all these sort of devices. Because they don't have a built-in electronic compass, you have to be moving for it to know which direction to tell you to go in, but it works really well. And then we've got our odometer, so this is our trip screen, so at the moment I've got it set up for how far I've gone, what my next destination is, estimated time of arrival, that sort of thing. But you can customise this to whatever you want, so that's quite easy. And then we've got our mark screen, so if you want to put in a new destination you need to go to, first you have to mark it, so you select it, and then you would go down, change the name, and then using the edit screen you would go in and put in the coordinates. And once you put one in, if you want to go somewhere, you just look at your waypoints, select waypoint, say that one, and then I just select go to, and then we'll be off. Dead easy. And that's it really for the Garmin eTrex. It's really done exactly what I wanted it to do. I've done several geocaches now, and you know, I haven't not had a lock anywhere when I've been using the device outside, even under tree cover between buildings and things. It's a nice size, you know, it's chunky enough. You want something chunky in your pocket so you know it's there, so if you drop it you know about it. I mean, we've got this big lanyard to keep it safe, which is really cool. And you can use it with one hand. I haven't worried about if it's been raining when I've been out. Really nice bit of kit. Only 65 quid from Amazon at the moment. Obviously look out for the H, you want the high sensitivity one, because that's the one that's going to give you the better satellite reception even in difficult conditions. You know, and I was a bit worried about the lack of internal memory and the fact that you can't put an SD card in, but it hasn't really affected me at all. Next thing I'll be getting will be the serial lead, so that we can have a look at transferring things across directly from the computer. But it only takes a couple of seconds to go to geocaching.com. You know, you get your details, put your latitude and longitude in, you know, and you're off. And overall, really impressed. I'm really glad I bought the Etrex H. Very nice bit of kit, reliable, probably from one of the best satellite navigation companies in the world, Garmin, and I'm looking forward to using it a lot more over the next few weeks and months. Right, thanks for watching, and that's our review of the Garmin eTrex H GPS sat nav. Thanks for watching.